ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु विज्ञेश्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतान् शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 12, verse number 21. Sri Krishna is continuing to answer Uddhava's question, and in reply he gave that he is the original source of Vedic knowledge which manifests through Brahma. He enters in the form of Nada in the Mooladhara Chakra and then manifests the Vaikhrivani, or the speech which comes out from Brahma's mouth in the form of the Vedas. And then correspondingly he also said that the same process of manifestation of speech is also for human beings, but the difference is that for Brahma it is Bhagavan himself, Antaranga Shakti. For us it is the Bahiranga Shakti, the Maya, which manifests like that. So he also explained how like seed becomes tree, like that the sound which is like a seed manifests. So now he says, Yasmin nidam protam asheshamotam pato yatha tantu vitana samstaha ye sa samsara taruh puranah karmatmakam karmatmakah pushpa phale prasute. So he says that it is in him that this whole material world is existing. Yasmin idam protam asheshamotam pato yatha tantu vitana samstha. So just like the cloth is there in the thread, which are lengthwise and breadthwise, like that the samsara exists in Bhagavan. So means this samsara is not separate from him, it exists in him. So is Yesha samsara taruh purana karmatmaka. So this is the taru or the tree of the material world. It's like in 15th chapter, Krishna says urdhamula madha sakha. So he says this is like a tree, this material world, that roots are up, branches down. So aswatham prahuravayam, he compares to an aswatha tree. So here also Krishna is saying that this samsara is like a tree, and it is purana, it is ancient and karmatmaka, and it is made from karma, because by the samasti karma of the jivas the universe manifests. So that's why Krishna says Jiva bhutam mahabaho yedam dharyate jagat, that it is the jivas who are upholding this, means it is because of their karma that it is manifest. So he says karmatmakam puspa phale prasute, and there are flowers and fruits which come out from the tree in the form of happiness and distress. So two types of fruit which will be described in the next also. So in Bhāgavatam earlier also Narada says Bhagavani Vaitara, that this samsara is manifestation of Bhagavan. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says Tan Maya Rachitatvat Tadashrayamidam Jagat Na Tatah Prithagiti Sadrishrantamaha. So because this Jagat is made from Bhagavan's Maya, and Maya here does not mean something which is mithya or false. It's a real potency. It's not some imagination or some dream state. So therefore he says it is made from that. Because we have to understand that Bhagavan is real. His Shaktis are also real, because he is real. So if he is real and his Shaktis are real, then how can his creation be false? This is to be asked. Because Advaitavadis this propose, this is all dream, this is that. So now the question is that why would he do something unreal when he has real Shakti? If you have real gold, why would you make ornaments which are fake or imitation? You make ornament from the gold because you have plenty of it. So if he has Shakti, why should the material world will be false? It says Shakti. Mama Maya, says in Bhagavad Gita. aham sarvasya jagata prabhuva palavastata. So, therefore we have to understand that this is real. And tada ashrayam idam jagat. And the jagat is also supported by him. It is existing in him. It is not outside, it does not have independent support. He is the only one absolute reality. So if he is the ultimate reality, then whatever is existing also has to exist in him. Otherwise there will be duality. So that's not possible. If there is a duality, then he is not the Ishvara, he is not the supreme controller. Because then something which is outside his ambit, his jurisdiction, then it will be controlled by someone else. So that's not true. And because it is his creation, it's created by his Shakti and it is sheltered in him, it is not different from him. Because something different means, what is the difference between Prathak and Bhed, Anyanya Bhav? Anyone can say the Nayayikas. What is the difference between Prathak? Because in English you translate it same. But in Sanskrit, what is the difference between Prathak and Anyanya Bhav?
I mean, Prathak is a guna padartha, Bheda is a abhava padartha. And in use case of sentence, Prathak we will use it to show that something is different from something. In Bheda we will actually use it to show that something is not something else.
So Prathak means it has Prathak Satta. That is the main thing. When we say that this is different from that, because Anyanya Bhav also say different. We say Ghat Pat Bheda. Means Ghat is not Pata. So Ghat is different from Pata. But when we say Ghatat, Patat, Prathak, Ghata, means it has a different Satta. It has different existence. But here in the material world there is nothing which has a different existence than Bhagavan. Because it is his Shakti. Shakti cannot exist independent of Shaktiman. It is not possible. So therefore he says, Ashramidam Jagat na tatah prathakiti. It is not separate from that.
Babaji, but Bheda also has different satta. No, I was thinking Prathak has just different satta but dependent satta. Bheda has different satta but independent satta.
No, the guna
is a dependent satta.
Is not Prathak from Dravya.
Yeah, so it is different satta but dependent satta.
Yeah, so therefore what does it mean dependent satta? Means satta is not different.
Okay. Yeah, you can. Okay, go ahead.
That's exactly what we are saying. Everything is dependent on him. It cannot exist without it. That's why they give samvaya sambandha.
Babaji, I thought that we consider dreams as not real.
I
thought that we consider dreams a dream.
We are talking about the Jagat, not dream.
Yeah.
Dream is your creation. Jagat is not a dream. It is created. The material goes into this. So don't compare this with the dream. When it is compared to dream, it means temporary. Not that it is just like dream. That's where the mistake happens. When you dream and you wake up, right? Then you sleep and dream again. Do you have the same dream which you have before? No. But you sleep, you wake up, it is the same room. Then you sleep, wake up, same room. If it is a dream, you should be in a different room every day. Because every day you sleep, you have a different dream. Isn't it? Then you don't have to pay rent. Because you're never in the same room again.
Is then the dream at ultimate level from what it is made of is real also?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
And dreams are also real. Sandhya Srishti Ahahi, there's a Vedanta Sutra for that. And this is also creation of Bhagavan. Different creation. So Yasminiti. So Tantu Vitane Samstha Sthitir Yasya Sa Pato Yatha Tatha Yasmin Idam Vishwam Otam Dirgha Tantushu Protam Triyak Tantushu Pataiva Evam Bhuta Smashti Vyashtyatmakam Shariram Eva Sansar Hetutvat Sansaryantam Tarurupakena Varnayati Yaiti. So he says that like you have Tantu Vitane Samstha. So he has this word Tantu Vitan Samstha. So Tantu Vitane Sansthi's Sthitir Yasya Sa Patah. So this is a very philosophical point here now. That when you make cloth from thread, is cloth separate from the thread or is it one with the thread? What is the answer? Is it one with the thread or separate from thread?
I mean,
It's both.
How?
Well, it is part of the thread, it's part of the cloth, so it is there. And
Part of... No. Choose your words very judiciously when you speak.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm sorry, I'm not Nayayik, so I cannot speak.
You're speaking to a Nayayika.
I know, I cannot.
So now speak.
I think it is both because cloth is made with the thread. So without the thread, cloth cannot be made. And separate in the sense because the cloth, this thread has a separate existence before the cloth is made.
So if it has a separate existence, how it can be cloth? If it has a separate existence before, then its existence is destroyed when it becomes cloth or it remains same? Does it cease to exist when you have the cloth or it still exists?
No, it still exists.
So then how is it separate?
Because it was, before being made, it was separate. But
Yeah,
then
so if it was separate to begin with, then what happens later on?
let me think a little more.
You heard that ye goya ke chunanche? Okay. So think about it. Yes.
I mean, if we are talking about Nayaic theory, for them it is completely separate and cloth is in the thread. But in Paramatma Sandarbha, he will say Avyavi is Apeksha Buddhi, Avyavi does not exist at all. So, yes.
But now you see what he is saying here. He says, read it carefully, that's why I brought this issue. So he says, Tantu Vitane Sanstha Sthitir Yasya Sa. Okay? So Tantu Vitan means the spreading of the threads. When you have a cloth, the thread are spread lengthwise, breadthwise. Horizontal, vertical, whatever you want to say. In Sanskrit it is called Ota, Prota. So this way is Ota, that way is Prota. So he says that the cloth is existing in that because it has seventh case. Right? He's making a Bahuri Samas from Tantu Vitana Samstha. Tantu Vitane Samstha Sthitiri Yasya Sa Pataha. Get the point? Get the point? Now what is said in the 7th canto, 15th chapter, and what is said here, there seems to be some difference. So, at least here it says that this pata, the cloth, exists. Sthiti means it is existing in the tantu. Right? So this is what Naiyayikas say. It's exactly what Naiyayikas say. Yatha tatha yasmin idam vishwam otam dirghatantushu protam triyaktantushu pataiva. So he says in the same way, this Vishwa is situated in him. Yasmin idam vishwam otam dirghatantushu protam triyaktantushu pataiva. Just like the cloth is existing in the tantu, like that. So he is existing. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna say? Sutre mani gana eva. That he is the sutra, rest is existing in him. They are supported by him like that. It is existing. Bhushan. Bhushan Bhushanangam.
But here, if I understand right, the logic is that because Bhagavan is real, his Shaktis are real, therefore the world he creates has to be real. But then the counter example could be a magician who is real, his hands are real, the props he uses are real, but he creates illusions based on that. So it is a counter example to the
No, but
logic.
what is he creating?
Like pulling a rabbit out of hair or something.
No, but that's
Or the hat.
whatever he shows is real. It's just that it may not be the way it appears to you. He may make an effect. But what he is showing is not baseless. It's just a trick he plays, like he creates an illusion, does not mean the objects are not there. He makes those, whatever he has, he makes them appear to be something different. If he is bringing out water from the pot, which he has shown to you, and he has put his stick inside and you think it is empty, and then a lot of water comes, you think water was not there? Did he create the water? No. You can
But
actually...
a kid who is watching would think that the
No, kid can...
is the state of the world.
Kid can think anything. We are not talking about kid here. We are talking about what is the reality. You have to think, is it real or not real? The water which he brings out from the pot, you can actually drink it.
Babaji, so from that understanding to this, should we take it in the sense that in Vyavahara we can speak this way, and I don't want to in truest sense it is.
Ultimate.
So we can use these words in Vyavahara situation.
Yes. You can understand. That's why Nyaya, Vaisheshika, they speak from the Vyavaharik point. Vyavaharik here does not mean it is false or anything. The Vyavahar means the way we perceive it. That's what it means. So, samasti vyashtyatmakam shariram eva sansar hetutvat. So he says these are all the samasti vyashtyatmak. Sansarayantam taru rupkena varnayati. So it's like a taru, means like a tree. Yaiti purana anadi. Purana means anadi, beginningless. Karmatmakaha karma pravahamaya. So this material world is functioning on karma, whether you like it or you don't like it. Just like this whole planetary system functions on gravitational force. That's what is holding it. So like that, the birth, death, life, karmatma, karma pravaha, flow of karma. So karma field. Like you have magnetic field, you don't see it, but you see the effect. So like that karma, you don't see it, but you see the effect. Puspam phalasya adimo bhagaha. So he says pushpa phale. So what is pushpa? Pushpa is the beginning of the fruit. First flower comes, pushpa means flower, then fruit comes. So he says this is the first part of the fruit. So what are those? Subha, adrishta, duradrishta, phaled, sukha dukkhe. So karma is the like the flower, and sukha dukkha are the fruit of this tree. So first flower comes in the form of karma, which means what you call as your fate, adrishta. So that adrishta has two divisions, suadrishta and duradrishta. Good karma, bad karma. So there are two types of fruits. Good karma brings happiness, bad karma brings suffering. So those are the fruits. Sukha dukkha, sukha dukkha. Then he explains it more clearly in the next sloka. Dvayasya bijay satamula strinalaha panchaskandha pancharasa prasutihi dasaika shakho dvisaparna nida trivalkalo dvifalorkam pravishtaha. So he says that it has two seeds, dvayasya bija. Same that bija also two type of karma. And satamula strinala. There are thousands of roots, like tree has got many roots under it. And trinala, panchaskanda, then there are three nalas, divisions of that. 5 trunks. Pancharasa prasuti, it gives to 5 types of juices. And dasaika shakha, there are 11 branches. And dvisaparna nida, and there are 2 birds in a nest inside. And trivalkala, there are 3 barks of the tree. And dvifalo, 2 fruits, arkam pravishta, and it has entered into the sun. So what are all these things? He describes them. So this is a Rupaka, he describes that. So dvaiti dve punya pape asya bija. So there are 2 seeds of punya and papa, piety and impiety. So because there are 2 types of karma, good karma, bad karma. Good karma is punya, bad karma is papa. So those are the seeds. It is from that only whether you take the samasti body of this universe or you take the individual body of any human being or anybody. So they are coming from punya and papa. Therefore everybody has some happiness, some suffering. Everybody. Unavoidable. Then Shata Parimita Vasana Mulani. Then there are 1,000 roots. So those 1,000 roots are the vasanas. So everybody is born with some vasanas from the previous life. You don't come with the carte blanche. Although they say like that child is just clean slate. No, he is not clean slate. He looks like that. But there is a lot of things which are written on the slate, but they are not visible. Gradually, when the light is focused, a lot of things start coming out. So therefore he says thousands and thousands of vasanas.
Babaji, what is the significance of making this difference between bija and mula, since both refer to the roots only? Vasana is the cause of papa and
बीजा
punya.
तो बीज से तो रूट आएगा, कहाँ से आएगा? बीज नहीं होगा तो रूट कहाँ से आएगा?
बट यहाँ पे तो रूपक उल्टा बन रहा है, वासना से पाप और पुण्य आना चाहिए. यहाँ पे बीज को उन्होंने पाप और पुण्य बोल दिया और मूल को वासना बोल दिया. तो वासना एक्चुअली में बीज होना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसी से पाप और पुण्य की उत्पत्ति होती है.
Now he is starting, how does it begin when you take birth? Now you are not doing papa or punya. Papa and punya is done in the past life.
Right.
So that comes in this life in the form of vasana. Then you will do karma in this life.
Okay. So the vasanas in the present life are due to the papa and punya of the previous lives.
Yes.
This is the way he's taking. Okay.
Yeah. So mulani yasa trayo guna malani. So there are three. He says nala, here he says mala. So there are three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, prakanda. So these are three like trunks. He says prakanda, divisions. Panch bhutani skanda. Then from three gunas come the panch mahabhutas. So those are the trunks. Then panch rasa, shabdadi vishyaste, some 5 types of saps are there. These are the sense objects. Prasutiri yasmat. And dasha ekacha sakha, 11 branches, those are 11 senses. Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, Anantakarna. Dvayoho suparnayor jiva paramatmanor nidam vaso yasmin. And there are 2 birds living on this tree. One is called Jiva, other is called Paramatma. So they have 1 nest and 2 birds. Those aparno saija sakhayo samanam viksham parisasva jate tayorekas swadu phalamatti anyan anasnana vichakashiti. Upanishad says that same thing said here. Then Dvayo suparniyor jeev paramatmanor nidam vaso yasmin trini valkalani tvacho vat pitta sleshmana. And there he says that it has 3 types of barks that he says are in the form of vata pitta kapha, mucus, bile, air. And dve sukh dukhe phale, and 2 fruits are coming. And fruits are happiness and little suffering also along with it. For change, otherwise if it is always happiness, you will get bored. So Bhagavan does not want you to feel bored, so he gives little suffering also. So then you can appreciate the happiness. So arkam pravishtaha surya mandala paryantam vyapta tanirvidya gatasya sansara bhavat. So the tree goes, he says, he goes up to the arka mandals, up to Surya, because it is said that those people there, remember Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks about 2 paths. Krishna Sukle Gatihi Ete. 2 paths, the white and the dark. So the dark goes up to the moon and comes back from there, and Sukla goes to the sun and it goes above. Means it doesn't come back, does not take birth again. So that's what it says, Arkam Pravishta means if you go to there, then samsara does not exist there. Sansara bhavat, that is the limit. That is the significance. So adanti chaikam phalamasya gridhra grame chara ekam aranya vasaha hansaya ekam bahurupamijjay mayamayam vedasa veda vedam. So these 2 fruits, who is eating the fruits? So he says there is one gridhra, one vulture, or many vultures, plural is used. So grame chara gridhra. So these are eating the fruit, adanti chaikam phalamasya. And ekam aranya vasa hamsa. So this Gramachara refers to the Grihasthas. So the Grihasthas are eating one fruit, and then there is a sannyasi, he is eating other fruit. So 2 different fruits eaten by 2 different. And Bahurupam ijjair mayamayam vedasa veda vedam. So many forms are there. And Ijjair Mayamayam Veda, one who knows this from worshipable teacher, this tree, he understands. Saveda Vedam. Others do not understand it. So Ijja means Guru here. So Tatfal Bhoktrina, who is eating the fruits, which fruit is eaten by whom? Although we think that Sukh Dukha fruit are eaten by everybody, but he says that one is eating only the suffering, other is eating only the happiness. So those who are attached, they are Gridha. Gridha also means who is greedy. Greedy people eat, they eat the suffering. Gridhyanti iti Gridra. So Gridhu, Dhatu. So they are very greedy. Greed comes from this root. Kamina. They are full of desires. Gramechara, Grihastha. So they are the Grihasthas. Asya vrikshasya ekam phalam avidyamayam dukkham adanti. So they eat one fruit of this tree which is made of avidya, ignorance. So that is the fruit of suffering. That's what they eat. Avidyamayasya narak swargaderapi dukh swarupatvat. So it says that because this fruit is coming from avidya, even some happiness is there, that happiness is also suffering. Tamasic happiness, rajasic happiness. Krishna says that is also really not happiness. It comparatively looks happiness. So he says, if they go to Naraka or they go to Swarga, it's all suffering. Dukh Swarupatvat. It's all dukh only. And then there are Aranyavasaha Sannyasina. Aranyavasa means the sannyasis. Olden time sannyasi, not now. Now the name is there, Aranya Maharaj. But they live in the city. So this is Aranyavasa, not just by name. So sannyasina, Hamsa, so they are Hamsas. Because he said bird, so one is vulture is also bird and the swan is also bird. So ekam phalam vidyamayam sukham adanti. So they eat the other fruit which is vidyamaya fruit, the fruit of knowledge. Gyan vasta sarvatha sukhrupatvat. So he says knowledge always gives happiness and ignorance always gives suffering. Although sometimes they say ignorance is bliss. So he says that bliss, although they say it like that, but it is not. Because what they say, dukkham, sarvam dukkham eva vivekina. So, sansar tap parinami. So for the viveki, it's all suffering. Evam bahurupam. So in this way, there are a lot of variety. Maya shaktya samudbhutatvat mayamayam. So in this way, it has a lot of variety. And because it's all made of Maya. Ijjai pujjai gurubhir kritvayo vedam veda tattvartham veda. But one who approaches a guru, then he can understand it. That why are we suffering here? What is the cause of suffering? Otherwise, you don't know it. You keep on finding solution to your problems and remain in the problem only. Cannot get out of the problem. So that is the thing. So therefore, what is the solution? Solution, he says, go to the Guru. That is the last sloka, this chapter. He says, Evam Guru Upasana Eka Bhaktya Vidya Kutharena Shriten Dhiraha Vivrischa Jivashyam Apramattaha Sampadya Chatmanam Athatyajastram. So what is the solution then? He says, therefore, you should take the sharp axe of knowledge by performing devotion to the Guru. Guru Upasana Eka Bhaktya. So devotion to Guru is like the kuthara, like an axe to cut the tree of this samsara. Sansara kuthara. And then vivrishya jivasham apramitta. He says cut it. The very root of the jivashya apramatta without being confused. And sampadya cha atmanam, and become self-realized, and then leave the weapon also, that's kuthara, drop it. So means you use vidya kuthara to get rid of avidya, then drop vidya also. This is what they have been saying earlier also, that you get rid of agyan with gyan, then give up gyan also, come to bhakti. So bhakti is that which continues, gyan is dropped. So these are the gyan droppings of the birds. Birds have droppings. So there are two types of droppings of the bird. First is the gyan dropping, then there is the gyan dropping. And then after that, no more dropping. So he says this. So this is the end of 12th chapter. Tvam cha evam gyatva kritkritya san sarva sadhanam santyajya itya. So he says, you please understand this, and after understanding become free from all duties. Kritkritya means no more duties to be performed. What does it mean? Sarva sadhanam santyajya. No need of any sadhana. Free. Come to sadhya. Ekya guna bhutaya api mukhya bhaktya shitena tikshnikritena jnana kutharena jiva upadhim trigunatmakam linga shariram vivrishya. So take the axe which is sharpened by the knowledge through devotion to the Guru, and you cut the upadhi, the conditioning of the jiva, in the form of subtle body, which is also made of three gunas. So mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. So what is mukti? Giving up the anyatha rupa. Is this gross and subtle body. These are not swarupa of the jiva, and become situated in your own swarupa. So that is by knowledge. So Paramatmanam cha sampadya prapya. So attain the Paramatma, and athastram gyan rupam sadhanam tyaja. And this weapon in the form of knowledge, then you give up that also. Sarvakyanam maya tvameva lakshi kriyase yatha Gita Shastre purvam arjunam ityata swasya anishtam na sankaniyam iti bhava. So he says, therefore all the words which I have spoken earlier, they are aimed at you only, just as I spoke to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. To him only I spoke. But then I also told what he should do. So this is what I am telling you also. So iti sarartha darshinyam harshinyam bhakti chetasam ekadase dvadasvayam sangata sangata satam. End of commentary on the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Sandeep.
So here this Gyan is Satagun.
Yeah.
Gyan and Vidya both are these indicating Satagun.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Now in Hindi they say Satogun. There is no such word as Satogun. Rajogun is there because the word is Rajas. So by Sandhi it becomes Rajoguna. And Tamoguna is there because the word is Tamas. But the word is not Satas. But in Hindi they also say Satoguna. So it is Satvaguna, not Satoguna.
Okay.
In this commentary, the word ekya has been glossed as gun bhutyapi mukhya bhaktya. So, what is he referring to as gun bhutya? Gun bhut kisko keh rahe hain wo?
Means bhakti is primary. It may be mixed. Guni bhut bhakti. Means it may be, even if it is mixed, karma misra, gyan misra, bhakti should be prominent.
Okay, so that means Krishna is saying should take shelter only of bhakti, even if you cannot perform on the level of pure satogun.
Don't say satoguna, just
Sattvagun. So, and one more question, Babaji, in the same line, this Jiva Ga Upadhim. So, Ga is misprint, or it's Jiva Upadhim or Jiva Ga Upadhim?
Upadhi, which is in Jiva. Jivam gacchati iti jivaga.
All right. Just one last question, Babaji. In the commentary number 21st, which we discussed in the beginning of the class, the second line of the commentary, Evam bhutam samashti vyashti atmakam shariram eva sansar hetutvat sansarayantam. So this part, could you please clarify? What does this mean?
Sarirameva samsara hetutvat means what is samsara is nothing but body. That's why he is calling it as a tree. Either you have a vyasti body or you have a samasti body. Vyasti body is individual bodies, the whole universe is also a body, which is calling as a tree. That's why he says taru rupakena. That is giving the rupaka of taru. Comparing it with a tree. So now Trayodasva Adhyaya, 13th chapter. So in 13th chapter there is talk of the gunas. It's very important to understand this concept of the guna. We keep on hearing this word guna, guna, guna. So guna here means this sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. So what are they and how you can come to sattva guna, that will be described here. So Sri Bhagavan Vacha. So he continues to speak. Uddhava did not ask any question. So he says sattvam rajastama iti guna buddherna cha atmanah sattvena anyatamo hanyat sattvam sattvena chaivahi. So he begins explaining that first of all sattva, rajas and tamas, these he says guna buddherna cha atmana. They are not belonging to Atma. Atma is not having sattva, rajas or tamas. And therefore Atma does not have vidya or avidya. Because vidya, avidya belongs to these sattva, rajas, tamas. But they belong to buddhi. So therefore buddhi can be in sattva, rajas, tamas. Sattviki buddhi, rajasi buddhi, tamasi buddhi, sattvik man, rajasik, tamasic, all that. So what is to be done? He says first you subdue rajas and tamas by sattva. So you improve the sattva and control rajas and tamas. So he says sattvena anyatamo hanyat. He actually says kill the other or kick the other by sattva. So rajas tamas chabhivu hai sattvam bhavati bharata. So Krishna says that by subduing rajas and tamas, sattva becomes predominant. So this is what he is saying. And then the interesting thing which he says is sattvam sattvena chaivahi. Then subdue the sattva also by sattva. Is something new. So sattva has got two parts in it. One is the better part another is the lower part of sattva. So first use the lower part of the sattva to get rid of the rajas and tamas, then you use the higher part of the sattva to get rid of this and become shant, completely peaceful. So this is something new which you don't hear anywhere else. So vidya utpatyat athamatrādau sattva vridhyānyanāsanam gunachitti chitta viyogartham hansaiti hasa varnanam. So this chapter, what does it have? It says that vidya utpatyat athamatrādau, how to attain vidya by sattva vridhya, increasing sattva, then you get vidya and anyanāsanam and destroying rajas and tamas, and guna chitta viyogartham hansaiti hasa varnanam. And then how to make the chitta free from the gunas, he describes the history of Hamsa Avatara. The story of Hamsa Avatara will come in this chapter. So that is the summary of the chapter. Now he says that Purvadhyayante pramatto vidyakutharena jivāshyam sanchidya atmanam sampadya sadhanam tyaja iti uktam. So he says in the previous end of the last chapter, he says that become apramatta means attentive and take the acts of knowledge and cut the bondage of the jiva, and then attain atma, which he translated as paramatma, and then give up the sadhan, give up that vidya kuthara also, right? Tyajastram, he said. Idanim lobha pramadadi karaniyor rajastamso satoho katham apramattattvam va vidya utpatya ashaya sanchedanam katham va atma sampattiriti asha. Which one I'm reading? I'm reading the wrong one. I was reading the wrong commentary. Because I said, what is this? So, त्रयोदशे गुणास्त्यक्तुम् उपायं हंस गुह्यतः इतिहासाद् हरिध्यानाद् ऊचे चित्ताद् गुणच्युतिम्. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says that in this 13th chapter he explains the means how to become free from the gunas, and then he describes the story of Hamsa Avatara in this regard only, and by meditating on Hari, how you can become free from the guna and attain moksha, that will be described here. Vidya kutharena chitva iti uktam. So it was said earlier that you cut the tree by the knowledge axe. Vidya utpatti ato vidya utpatti prakaramaha. So now he is explaining here in detail how knowledge is generated. Sattvam-iti saptabhi. In 7 sloka he will describe this. Nacha atmana naiv jivasya. So he says these gunas do not belong to jiva or atma. Ato bandhakaha vidyaya gunaste hantavya iti bhava. So because they do not belong to jiva or atma, so therefore they should be destroyed. These gunas, sattva rajas tamas, do not. So sattva rajas tama iti buddhir gunana cha atmana. Anyatamo rajastamo bhago. So he says by sattva you should destroy anyatama. Sattvena anyatama. The other two should be destroyed by sattva. Sattvam satya dayadi rupam upsamakattvena sattvena hanyat. So this is the interesting part which he says here, that sattvena sattvam chayabhi. So how he is explaining this is that sattva has got two parts. That in sattva also you will have qualities like compassion, empathy, paropkar, doing good to others. So that is sattvic quality. Right? Person who is in sattva, he will have all these characteristics. So he says you give up that also. Forget about doing paropkar to others. If you are doing paropkar, welfare to others, you will get stuck up in that. That also is going to now, because if you do good to other people, then they will praise you. Right? It is unavoidable. So if they don't praise you, it is a problem. If they praise you, it is a problem. So what is the solution? So he says, don't go there. Just sit tight, quietly. That is also sattva. Go on mauna vrata. So that's what he's saying. Upshamatmakena sattvena. So one sattva is that which is giving you nice, good qualities which people appreciate. That you are going to uplift the samsara. Right? You are going to deliver everybody. Everybody is suffering, and I will not leave unless I liberate everybody. So you want to do paropkar like this. So he says then you will get stuck in your paropkar. So he says you give up that also. Tyajastram. Sattvena. So that is a high type of sattva. This people will not like. It says sattvat dharmo bhavet vriddhat punso mad bhakti lakshanaha sattviko upasya sattvam tato dharma pravartate. So he says from sattva will become, when sattva becomes increased, then dharma will come. And then this dharma should be of that which has my bhakti in it. Otherwise it is not increasing. Otherwise you are stuck something else. And sattvik upasaya sattvam tato dharma pravartate. So by the upasana, sattvik upasana, then you will have sattvam, and then dharma will come from that. These are little. Anyway, this is all talk about the gunas. Gradually he will come to bhakti.
Babaji, here the first word sattva, it is depicting the inferior sattva or the higher sattva which he is telling in the previous verse. This sattva dharmo bhavet. So which sattva is he talking about? The second one, which?
This dharma means bhakti dharma. He says when sattva will increase, then it is only increased when it is mad bhakti lakshana. And then by that only dharma will happen. These slokas are a little bit, confusing types. Sattvasya itar gun parabhavakatve balamaha sattvatiti. So how is that sattva has the power to subdue the other gunas? He speaks this. Mad bhaktir gun bhuta lakshanam chinnam yatra sa. So what is saying that when this sattva is increasing, its strength is only when it has Mad Bhakti Lakshana. Means it is not just pure sattva, but my devotion is also there. Yadva mad bhaktya eva lakshanam yasya sa tam vina tva lakshano vigita eva dharma. Or he says that only when my bhakti is there, then it has the lakshana of sattva, otherwise it is not sattva. That's what he is saying. Means sattva without bhakti is not really sattva. Sattvam katham vardhet. So how does sattva increase? Sattvika nam vastu nam upasya sevya sattvam vriddham bhavati. If you make use of objects, place, association, water, etc., which are sattvic, then your sattva guna will increase. We will talk about 10 different things which increase sattva. So that's very practical. So that we will do tomorrow. हाँ भाई संदीप.
In the previous commentary, he is saying that you become shant and don't even do any good. Higher sattva, he is saying. I was just thinking, like, if you have like this karma theory, if I have taken some favor from somebody in my previous life, then suppose I have to.
You've taken what? Paper?
Taken some paper, some money, maybe I've taken some contact with these from somebody.
Then what?
So I have to return in this life, no?
If you have taken it to return, then you have to return.
No, you will not do any good to anyone that way.
Yeah, he's saying you have to give up everything. If you have taken, you give it back.
No, in the sense that karma will not make you like if you have आपने किसी से सेवा ली हुई है तो आपको सेवा करनी पड़ेगी इस जीवन.
क्या सेवा ली हुई है यार?
मतलब ऐसे सुना है कि जो बच्चे वगैरह होते हैं वो आपने उनसे बहुत सेवा की है तब इस जन्म में आपको उनकी सेवा करनी पड़ती है.
क्या बच्चे सेवा कर रहे हैं?
बच्चों की सेवा करने में उल्टा हो गया ना इस साल का.
वो ये कहना चाह रहा है कि जैसे हमारी संतान होती है, पहले जन्म में आपने उनसे बड़ी सेवा ली होती है, इस जन्म में आपको उसका ऋण चुकाने के लिए उसकी सेवा करनी.
ठीक है, तो बच्चे पैदा ही मत करो यार. उस चक्कर में क्यों पड़ रहे हो? तो वो तो इसका मतलब यू आर स्टिल इन रजस एंड तमस. When he says कि सत्व से रजस तमस को करो तो सत्व में आके वो झंझट में कौन पड़ेगा फिर? Okay. Dakshina.
Hare Krishna Babaji, just with regards to the previous chapter where we was hearing that the two seeds of piety and impiety give the fruit of happiness and suffering, you previously said to me that sometimes suffering and happiness are not due to previous karma, it's new karma. So how do we understand that? Like there's no seeds for that, or?
No, the seeds in this life. The tree has produced the fruit and the seed, and from that new fruit is coming. The same process. Just like you created karma in past life that became seed and gave the fruit now, in this life itself you can create karma and that will become the seed and give you fruit in this life itself. That past life is given one example, it can also happen in the same life.
But in the context of we were saying like if somebody steals from you, you might not have, it might not be like a previous karma thing. So then that seems like there's no seed for that. That's just new karma being created.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise how will new karma be created? If it is all the time only old karma, then in the past life also you will say it is old karma. Then it will go to another life, old karma. So when was it done? If we say that it is coming from past life, then we must have done it in past life, then it is new in past life. So if you could do new in past life, you can also do in this life. Otherwise, when will you do the new karma? If it is always, if it is all, no, if it is always coming from the past life, then in the past life, some past life, you must have done it.
It's not just like an endless cycle of like.
Yeah, even if it is an endless cycle, you have to do it. Suppose you steal from me. Okay, so I can say, okay, this is past karma. But now I can create karma because of that.
But the example I gave you was if I haven't stolen from you, but you now steal from me, that's now we've created new karma. And you said I can stop the cycle by not stealing from you. So I don't understand like where this.
Yeah, so if I am creating new karma, what is your question? Suppose I steal from you, and this is my new karma. Now what is your question?
I have not stolen from you previously.
Yeah.
So where has that seed of suffering come from?
What suffering?
That you stole from me.
I stole from you, so
Yeah.
I'm giving you new suffering.
I don't have the seed for it, so why did I suffer? That's
Why you don't have the seed? You have the whole tree. This body is the tree. Otherwise, why are we here? The body is there to experience. So now when it is a new suffering for you, so it is up to you. If it is a new one, then you can suffer because of your vasana, your attachment. Why are you suffering? Because you are attached to that wealth. Now imagine somebody who is not attached to that wealth and it is stolen, he will not suffer. So your suffering is also related to the past. It is not has to be that it just some action of somebody is going to hurt you, that is the only thing. You also have your vasanas, which you said earlier. Your attachments, your emotions. So they are also coming from the past. So they are making you suffer.
Thank you, Babaji.
In regards to Mataji's question, so that means the suffering which we are suffering is due to...
We are thinking like this in a very gross manner, that if I give you one slap now, I will not, don't worry. So you are saying that you got this slap because you have done something bad in the past. I am saying that it is not always like that. It is not that you did something specific and therefore you are getting the slap. Means you slapped me in my past life and now I am slapping you. It doesn't have to be like that. So now the question is that if you had not slapped me in the past life and I am slapping you now, why is that you are getting the slap? Because you don't have the karma to get a slap. So I am saying that it is not always like that. Karma is not always just tit for tat. That is just one part of it. That's why Krishna says, Kim karma kim akarmeti kavyapyatra mohita tatte karma pravakshami as gyatva mokshasas. It is not as easy. This is one thing, action and reaction. That is a very simplistic way of putting karma.
clarify, Babaji, was this that in the example what you give, the suffering, if at all I suffer because of the slap, or if someone does some wrong to me, it is because of ultimately my attachment, not because of somebody else's action. So ultimately the cause is avidya only.
Yes. So that avidya everybody has.
Right.
That's why he was saying that avidyamaya fruit is dukkha
Right.
and vidyamaya is happiness.
Right.
If somebody is beyond avidya, then he will not suffer.
Right. And to the extent he has crossed avidya, to that extent his suffering will proportionately decrease.
Yeah. Suppose there are 100 people and you give one slap to all 100 of them. So now do you think that they will all suffer the same amount? And suppose they had not slapped this guy in the past. So will all of them suffer same? No. So depending on their level of conditioning, they will have the suffering.